resolutions, this kind of trust, satya. Satya is what you must have, this very intended determination to say, no, I'm going to uphold the precept. I'm going to change those to a new leaf. I want the real happiness that can be found within ourselves, right? I want to live within the code of conduct that has been prescribed by the Buddha for mankind. So it's a challenge. I want to take the challenge. It's for my own welfare and happiness. I want to take the challenge. And you go for it, right? And you can find that most of the time you lose, right? Because why? The power of this grid is so powerful, right? First time you lose, and then sometimes you win. Sometimes lose, sometimes win. But again, practice makes perfect. Because why? We human beings are like that. We have been getting used to a lot of bad things, unwholesome things. Because we've been doing it so often that we thought that it's normal. So when we suffer certain sickness or certain depression, which resulted from our own actions, we want to find a way out. And then we come to Buddhism and say, oh, Buddhism tells you to have this 5 precept. And because of this, what we call bad habit that we inherited, that we have done for ourselves, we find it very hard. So there's a tug of war. You got to have these strong determinations to work through it. Yeah, it may take months or years, and with the support of a meditation team, then you find that you meditate every time the thoughts arising, you can arrest. You're aware that before you even proceed to execute certain action, there's a rising of this thought, of this wanting to do something, right? And you know, but you can't control it. Because why? The power of this grid is so powerful, it overtakes you. But as you meditate, when your mind can calm a bit, right? And the mindfulness the power of mindfulness start to grow within your own heart, you start to arrest this kind of thought arising in you. And you say, then you make a mental note, okay, you better don't do it, okay? Just mentally do it, better don't do it, right? And you can see it creeping against when you are not aware. It's just creeping again. And this is how we start to do amendments, right? We start to restructure ourselves from a very bad kind of behavior we have been adopting in our life. Slowly we change, we transform, right? From a very degenerated personality, very bad health we have, and slowly we're upgrading ourselves, we're improving bit by bit, right? And it takes time and patience. That's why this determination you must have, endurance, endure this back effect that's whispering into your ears. No, just tell yourself no, and say, yes, you can do the right thing, right? And it's a tug of war. You need to have sila, samadhi, right? Samadhi is what? Concentration practice, right? And if you're kind enough for yourself, you want happiness, right? Every time you say, I want happiness. Now, what kind of happiness are you referring? You talk about material happiness. I believe in this country, we have abundance of food, right? You have cash, but you don't compare to those very rich people, right? You can survive, right? You have all this medical care, all this basic need for a human being to stay happily. You have it. Housing, clothing, medicine, we have it. But how come we are still not happy? Everybody knows there's something lacking in us. And that is what? Our mind. Our mind is not happy because our mind is hungry, keep on hungry for new things, right? When someone comes to have a talk, you say, again, you talk about sila again, want to hear something new, again. I say, what thing new you don't want to talk about? It's all the old things. What thing new? There's nothing new. You look at this whole universe, it's made of what? Mix of earth, water, space, fire, and what? Wind. And your whole body, in whatever thing we see on with our naked eyes, it's the same thing. It's built up. It's just without a mind, without a consciousness inside it. That's all. And there's different forms that transform into animals. All kinds of animals. In Australia, have kangaroo, the brown snake, black snake, pythons, right? Wallaby, right? And all these are also another beings, right? They are from these four elements. All these are old things. Since time immemorial, they have been here, right? But what thing is new? Nothing new. All these are old things. But human being, we have this great long for new things, right? And we keep creating new stuff. We thought that it's new, right? But is it new? No. You look at our great-great-grandfather, a few hundred years ago, few thousand years ago, what thing changed? The human form doesn't change. It's only the uniform that changed, right? Your hairstyle changed, your food changed, the weather changed, right? What thing doesn't change? Your heart doesn't change. The great hatred delusion doesn't change, right? So the Buddha's teaching is to teach us as human beings how to tackle this problem within ourselves, what we call this, how to manage this mental stress, or we call suffering within ourselves, right? That's why we got to emphasize a lot on personal behavior, personal growing, personal improvement in yourself. And there's the precept. You can't do away precept. No way. Yeah? There's no shortcut. Some people they say, maybe we can take away something else, right? I say, yeah, you can take away if human shit become fragrance one day, maybe. But it's impossible. You look at human population, and it decrease, it only increase. Why? Right? You look at sickness, human sickness, and it increase. Yes, especially this 2000 COVID, it really rocked the human race, right? I use the word rock because a lot of people drop in the state of depressions because they don't know how to handle when this kind of what we call mental stress arises in them, right? They don't know what to do because they don't have a religion to rely on. They don't have a belief, right? It's very important. You must have a belief, right? And especially in Buddhism, we don't change people's religion. We just tell them how to improve yourself so that you can manage your own mental suffering within yourself, right? We're not talking about religion. We're talking about how to improve our mental health. But we're not going to change other people's belief. You can go and believe what you want to believe, right? It's good that you have a belief, but how are you going to improve yourself in what you believe if you can implement this 5%? No killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lies, and no alcohol. Is it good? Very good, right? And you do your prayer, you meditate. Is it good? Good, because you're not so mentally disturbed like before. You don't have to take sleeping pills anymore. You just watch your breath, and next minute you're snoring, right? So that you don't find trouble with your wife, your kids, scolding them, to let go of your steam or your anger on them. And this is what happened to our society nowadays. That's why meditation is something very important, is mental cultivations to curb our mental stress. Like it or not, this thing exists, and you will exist since in the past, it will still happen now, and it will happen in the future. As long as there's this mankind that is born into this world, there bound to be great hatred delusion that will engineer this mankind. That's why If we human beings don't practice this kind of self-control, and this is why you see all this whole world engaging in all kinds of unnecessary destructions that we are creating, self-destructions. So if you're kind to yourself, you're aware of the thing you're doing, you say the impact you're going to have yourself, then you will know that if you are kind to yourself and you receive this kindness and impact in yourself, then you start to treasure that. You want to implement something externally, because why? With the individual's responsibility in certain aspect of responsibility in that field, he will love to do that because he knows that meditation is very good. Precept is very good. It makes you a good person, a moral person, right? No family members will want the child, the family members will get involved with killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, get the family divorced and all kinds of problems. Who want it? Nobody want it. But how come it's happening so often and so progressively, I use the word, so detrimentally? And how come there's nobody there to come and say, look here, you got to control yourself, right? But every time we are solving problem, it's not on the cause, external level, right? We're fighting for this right and fighting for that right. We have all the right, right? We have all the right to do the right thing. This is the right, not the right on the external thing. The right thing is your precept. If you know to do the right thing to yourself, there will be suffering, let me tell you. You will be a very happy man, happy lady. Yeah, because you do the wrong thing, you screw your life upside down, and you start to blame the society, you start to blame this unfairness there, because you do the wrong thing, right? So, well, I may be a bit harsh, but this is something true. The truth is always very painful. The truth is always very painful because all the time we thought that the truth is outside what our eyes see. The truth is within ourselves. The real happiness can only be found within our own heart if we do the right thing. You cannot find the right true happiness within your heart if you never do the right thing, the right input. You can't do it. You can't achieve it. That's why when the Buddha talk about the noble eightfold path, that we synchronize into Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila is your behavior, the right way to behave as a good human being so that it won't bring you back with its detrimental effect on yourself. You see, why people life get short? Why we suffer so much in our life? Why this and why that? If you blaming the whole world, it's so unfair. You got to look at ourselves. Why? Because we have done the wrong thing. Right? Now that you have heard that first karma, you never listened before, now you listen. Right? You observe the precept, then you see how your life changed. Right? It's going to be a tug of war. I use the word tug of war. Right? If you want something good, there must be some sacrifice. Actually, sacrifice for the good, for your own goodness, because you do the right thing, right? And the right concentrations, samadhi, right? You must be able to sit and really calm your mind down, right? And the mind really calm down and not easily agitated by external forces and external exposure, right? Because the more you meditate, the more you will realize a lot of things you never think before. You think by self, right? A lot of knowledge, some insight might arise within that you should do this, do it. And you find that if you follow in your meditations inside, you find that you really improve. You know, there's this two guy inside you. You sit and meditate, and this guy say this, and the guy, and you have this internal dialogue within yourself. and you follow the dialogue which is reasonable, in line with the precept, in line with the Dharma, that will only reduce your greed, hatred, and delusion. That'll be the right one, right? It's easy. A lot of people ask me, how am I, or how are we going to gauge or know that we are doing correctly? I say, easy. You don't have to be the expert, right? You used to be a very angry man or lady. And you start after meditation, after reading Dharma book, listen to people say some nasty thing. You are non-reactional. It's not that you're dumb. You're perfectly fine. It's just that you just, okay, listen. I listen to you, but I'm not the least affected by your or her speech, because you know that it's nonsense. You learn how to acknowledge, you learn how to ignore that, okay, listen, but don't get woke up, right? And you learn how to be calm, right? Because why? There's this very nice sensation at the health base if you meditate. There's this very nice sensation. You got to meditate, right? And this sensation, you know, that when you start to wobble, this heart base, there's something outside. And you say, uh-oh, I'm not going out. Stay put. You're safe. The minute you stand up, you start to engross with the content of what people say. You start to get woke up straight away, right? And you find the beauty of being mindful inside your heart and here, right in the present of you, right? You have the full control to engineer the whole situations, right? You're not standing out, you just, okay, stay put. And you're very alert and letting pass, right? It doesn't know that, it doesn't mean we don't care. We listen, we acknowledge, but it doesn't hit your heart. But if you don't meditate, oh, your mind will be all the time externally, outside there. When people say something, you get so, heated up. Sorry, so angry, right? The anger stay from the minute you listen to the noise of that she or he, and you work on the computer or laptop, lunchtime also burning inside you. Go back home, even the cold bath cannot cool you down. And you meditate, all this vulgar word flow into the mind, but retaliate, counter, because just now you cannot counter because he or she is your boss. Right? When you meditate, you see, you see, after 1 hour, still there. Oh, next morning, oh, one more bomb, boom. This is what we call accumulated stress. Every day you accumulate your suffering within yourself every day in, day out. You don't know how to distress it, right? And one day you broke out, you just go to the toilet and you cry, right? You broke out like a small baby, right? And then after that, so happy, come back again. But inside, come out again. Oh, what is that? Right? We knew everyone got this problem, including me. That was a past, right? Until I meditated. And this meditation really gives us a lot of confidence in our life, right? When the mind got concentrated, it's centered. When the mind is centered, it's not offset. So everything is balanced, right? The greed also balanced, hatred also, everything balanced out, right? And then there you are, next day you go to work, boom, one more contact, off balance again. So it's a tug of war. You start to re-establish back into your object of meditation and keep trying. It's a trial and error. right? Meditation is something that is trial and error. It's not from books. It's not from reading more books, reading more tricks. No, the trick is your own trick, right? How are you going to sidestep? How are you going to receive it? And okay, put it aside. I'm going to think about it. And we do it later. We are so good in dealing with our job. Sometimes you have been part of a lot of, destination to do your job. And you know your priority. Okay, this one, no, later. This one first. But we forgot to do it on our mind management. We don't know how to manage. Everything coming, we absorb. In the end, inside there, no space. And we don't know how to delete the words. Cannot be deleted also. Right? So meditation comes in. We know how to do this kind of self-contemplations, self-dialogues. It's good, some people who are good in thinking, but normally they think the wrong thing. Because when they do this self-dialogue, they use hatred. How am I going to get back on this? This fellow, I'm going to take revenge. Worse, you're aggravating more pains in yourself because the minute you think about hatred, your heart will feel very heavy. When you want to revenge, you have this kind of bad thoughts will cloud your mind, black out. Right? That's why you must be kind. When you're kind to yourself, you start to have the mercy on yourself, the compassion, the pitiness on yourself. Then you start to have the pity of other people. Oh yeah. He or she say that because they are like me, we have this mental stress. And because his position so high, maybe he got a bomb from upper, so the bomb must land on us. So this is what happened. But we are better because we know how to meditate to defuse the bomb. They doesn't know, right? So when we are determined into practicing this kind of compassionate thoughts to ourselves, we start to spread the thoughts to other people. Then we know that, oh, okay. Then you can coexist in this kind of difficult situations where you would stay with very nasty people around you, and you know to live with that without getting burned, right? You can stay with crazy people, but you live your way, I live my way. It says in this world that we are living in this society of, different kinds of people. We know, if we know that this crazy guy is there taking a knife, you don't walk there, walk away. You don't try to be a hero and walk towards a crazy guy. Same thing, we walk away. So your question might be, what happened? We need to confront it, face to face, right? You better repeat your koto, create a mental shield. May I be peaceful, happy, healthy, and strong. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Cool. Keep the cool, 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 cool. Just repeat anything that you can create mentally to cushion the whole situation so that it doesn't go out of hand. Just keep repeating the word. Cool, 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 cool. Everything will be all right. Okay. You win, I lose. You win, I lose. We better be, but lose doesn't mean that we lose the face. We doesn't lose anything. Just we are telling our mind, don't get involved with unnecessary kind of quarrel, right? Engagement that will cause more detrimental to our mental health. And this is something human beings find it very hard to do because of what? Pride, ego. People who got too much ego and pride, it's very hard for them to say that, okay, I'm going to back out. They'll say, why should I back out? That's the problem. And that's why when you don't back up, boom. Right? In the end, when you have a head-on crash, who win? Both lose. Right? You got a crazy guy crashing in, he just sidestep. He banged to the wall, he banged himself. So in meditation, same thing. I'm talking about your mind state, right? When you have this, you know, because we are responsible for our own actions. We know. And we knew that, yeah, I have this thought arising in me. Crazy thought. So how? Okay, acknowledge it, but don't do it. Don't say it. You cannot prevent the thought from not arising because you're a human being. You still have greed, you still have hatred, you still have all this diluted mind. But because of the trainings that you take up to take on the challenge, you're not going to give in. You're going to acknowledge it, but you're not going to do it. And you already win at the first part, right? Okay? First round, you win already, right? You're not going to do it. And as you proceed along, you find your mindfulness start to become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And you know that this thought comes, pop, your mind is very relaxed. At first, it's tense because I got a lot of thoughts that will arise, all this, retaliating thoughts, taking revenge thoughts. But the minute our mindfulness get more and more stronger, and every time we meditate, we do this kind of self-dialogues, self-contemplations, self-talking. Yeah, why are you so stupid? Why must you argue with her or he? Yeah, next time, shut your mouth. Okay. You see, you have a internal agreement with yourself, and next day okay, no problem, right? You be a happy person. That's why I say you are your own owner of your own actions. The Buddha say, heir to your actions, born of action, related to action, and live dependent on the action. So whatever thing you do, you speak or you say, you think, now you got the answer there, right? It's there. So in meditation, again, this kind of mental cultivations, especially in this present eras, everything is nowadays very more open up, right? We got to be careful, right? Because a lot of unwholesome things out there waiting for you. They are waving the hand to you, called the four corners, right? You got to have this precept. No, I'm going to hold on to my 5 precepts. I'm going to practice my meditations. I'm going to calm my mind down. Even if it's not calm, I'm going to keep on my persistent effort to keep at it. I know one day I will make up with my real happiness within my heart, because we are all training. We are not expert yet, but when you train to be expert, you got to go through a training, right? It's just like I will walk from Geelong, Lara to Sydney. No one is expert, right? A lot of participants out there, when they start to, Bang, can we walk or not? I say, every day I'm walking from kitchen to the toilet, right? You can walk, right? The same kind of walking, left, right. Every day when they have blister, you see, I got blister, I got my knee coming. I said, it's okay. Once you have to have this body, go. You can still move your left leg and right leg. Just move it. Don't think so much. You leave that thinking to me. You just walk. Do right? And you can do it, you see? When you have this kind of right attitude and determinations, right? Rain or shine, we will walk, right? Pain, blister, we will walk. Nothing can dampen our spirit, these determinations. Same thing with meditations. You have this kind of right attitude in yourself, in life, nothing is unaccomplishable. Everything can be accomplished. You will have this kind of determination, like what may take you on. You must have this kind of fighter spirit. Some people, they're like, haven't even go up to the boxing ring. Look at the opponent, go up, try it, right? And a lot of people, they say, I got knee problem, that problem, that. I say, your knee never say anything. Oh, how come, Mom, you say that? Yeah, you talk to your knee complain. But I pain, what? Who pain? My knee pain. Your knee got say knee. Then you get stuck. Oh, what are you talking? I said, yeah. I thought you want to meditate, right? You got to know. You walk. And after they walk for a few days, he said, wow, very good, I say, who say good? Your knee say good? Does the knee say anything? No. Your mind. You see how this mind always create all these kind of mental formations to give us all this kind of reasoning. Ah, it's good, it's bad, blah, 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 blah. That's why the khandas, the Buddha say, this khandas, our mind state is unbelievable. Something agreeable to your liking, you love it. Something agreeable to your disliking, you start to deny it. And this is our problem, right? We practicing meditation, we down to earth walk, is to realize how our mind operates, how this mind of ours creating all this suffering for ourselves, right? And look here, the sun don't say anything. Ah, today the sun very hot. You see, why we say hot? Because we have this body, right? This body have what? Feeling. And when the sun, because of the heat, the radiance of the heat, that's the power of the sun, the UV really burn through your skin. And you have this feeling, is just a symptom of feelings rising because of the body, right? And the body doesn't say, the feeling doesn't say, the feeling just a phenomena of arising of these phenomena because of the contact. It arises these feelings of heat and pain, and afterward it subsides again and again and again and again and again. You got to see this thing through you, and you see how your mind grumbles. Too cold, the leg swell, the bone pain, blah 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 blah. You see, the bone say anything? Of course, the bone say. The bone say, if the bone can talk, then all those mortuary, the bone that the ashes they put in the morning, they can talk. Right? That's why it takes a lot of trainings, right, for a person like us, which is blinded, don't have the wisdom, the eyes of wisdom. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. You must have the wisdom to see through in order for you to achieve the real happiness within yourself. You can't be happy if you never do the right things. You must do the right thing, right? If you do the right thing, the right cause, you will arrive in what? Right concentrations, right? When you have the right concentration, then you have what? Wisdom arising in you. If you do contemplation in yourself, you can know a lot of things, right? You won't be disturbed by the external thing anymore. You know that our suffering because why? Arises within us because our mind make believe. Our mind think of a lot of issue, create a story, right? And we make believe the content that we created, and we get engrossed in the content, and we got burned. We get happiness, sadness, indifference, right? You got to break in between. Then you see, oh, okay, I see you, I saw you, okay, but it got to take time. It took me many, many years. When I saw that, I sort of, boom, your mind separated, and boom, hit the heart base, wow. Then you know that, wow, you cry, you really cry. How stupid we are, how unaware we are, how we have been all this while manipulated by our greed, hatred, delusion, this mental formation engineered by these three greed, hatred, and delusion. Like the Buddha said, within ourselves. That's why we suffer so much, right? And we can step out of it and we say, oh, okay, we still live as a human being, but you live your way, we live my way. But we live the moral way. we live the right way. Right? You want to be a happy person? Everybody got the intelligence, the ability to achieve this happiness within yourself. Right? It's just like we don't want to do it. We're living in the world denial that it's okay. We should be happy. Right? But in real reality, we are suffering within ourselves. We know it's very painful. Right? That's why the Buddha's teaching is here for us to upgrade, to improve ourselves by doing the right things, observing the precepts, practicing meditations to calm our mind so that we won't be, overpowered by all these feverish kinds of thoughts that is burning us within, right? So I hope my talk, my sharing, doesn't offend anyone. And should I offend anyone, I ask for forgiveness, because this is a sharing and giving encouragements, right? Because we are human beings, right? And if someone witnesses this kind of happiness, the real happiness within our mind, why not we share it, right? The power of sharing something is good, because if the real happiness can be achieved, then you'll be a real witness for the Buddha's teaching. Yeah, it's true. It's true, right? The true teaching of the Buddha is true. It's not something man-made, something to make up story. No, the real happiness is this inside your heart, right? But now, for the time being, you find your external happiness first, right? Before you can go into here, you got to do a lot of changes, right? Right. So it's if you got any question, please feel free. I try my best. I may not be able to answer all, but I try my best to answer whatever doubt you have. Sadhu.
Anyone want to ask a question? You can bring the mic to them. Zoom, like to ask any question? You can ask. No? Or already shy? There's no question. Yes. Anybody? No question? If there's no question, then I'd just like to thank you, Chao and Keng, for sharing all the tips on meditation and how to train our mind. I'll just say again, because this is a mic now. I'd just like to thank you, Chao and Keng, for sharing the tips on how to improve. Oh, there's a question. What's the question?
No, nobody asking.
Ajahn, there's a question from the Zoom. It says, how long on average should a beginner meditator sit for meditation? So how long
on average
should a beginner meditator sit for meditation? How long should they sit?
Well,
on average?
My standard is at least 1 hour.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. The beginners class, I train them 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of. Bang. But don't worry. They will know how to shift the leg.
Probably get up for a cup of tea and then go back.
No, because he put 1 hour, everybody will start to run. So he put 2 hours, they will half hour, they will change left first, and then back again, and then left first. So why not? It's always good to set a high standard. You don't worry, human beings are like that. They like to downgrade. So you got to set high standard. You don't have to tell them. You tell them 15 minutes, they will say 5 minutes. So he set high standard. They will lower by themselves. Yeah.
I thought it's trying to encourage them to set low and then gradually going up.
Oh no.
Ajay say there's a questions. They ask, can we opt for walking meditations? If
Yes.
walking, then for how long?
3 days.
Negotiation.
It depends on your timing, right? For it will be good if you can walk for hours, 1 hour per session, at least 1 hour. But because you walk, don't put on the earphone and the song and the enjoyment, and your mind gets scattered. You know, a lot of people they doesn't know. They thought that I'm reading whole day on this. Yeah, what do you call it? Handphone, smartphone. You know, they become more and more stupid. Yeah, because whole day nowadays, whole day, your mind, you know, your attention has been dragged into the phone, and you thought that you know everything, but actually we know nothing. Because we're into the it's so seducing. Boom. You know, people can spend whole day, even they eat food, and I say, wow, this fella. If you ask him, how does it taste? I tell you, he doesn't know. He just swallow it. But because why the attention is on the screen, the day they invite us, you know, that we went to the restaurant, I look around, my left. Don't you enjoy the food? No. So it's very dangerous. No? Sometimes they take the wrong thing out. Yeah, it's true. Because nowadays it's so. That's why you see people they drive. Why the government so headache? Got to impose camera from the top, left, right, center. Because people are getting more and more distracted. I use the word distracted. They get distracted by this gadget. You know, they can walk go into the drain. He got 2 eyes, don't know why the eye used for what. You can walk into the drain. How come? You're distracted. And who's it on the screen? You know, even driving, they have this screen for you to enjoy your television show. Oh, more accident. A lot of things that make us, our life so-called convenient, is actually not healthy at all. It makes us more unhealthy mentally and more lazy. Sorry. You don't have to walk to the restaurant. Everything is sent to your doorstep. Can you imagine next time? Human being will be big head, small hand. Because never walk, no exercise. And then one tube here to drain out the shit. And a tube here to drain away the urine. And they say it's normal. You just watch my word. Just take my word. Yeah, you just take my word. He will deprive into this stage in the future. Just and then he forgot to breathe, open a hole for oxygen. The bionic man.
Okay, the questions continue.
Yeah,
It say, I'll come back to another questions, but this one is an extension of the other questions. Can I chant while doing walking meditation, or must observe breathing in and out, or puto, or feeling the left foot and right foot? And walking meditation around the neighborhood instead of 25 steps forward, turn back, and 25 steps back.
Oh yeah. So what was the question?
You say like can she just chant like
just be mindful of the walking, that's all. Just be mindful of what you're doing now, and that will be fine. You know, left leg, right leg, or chant, fine. Just know that you're stepping down, touching. And the problem is they doesn't be even mindful of whether they're chanting or whether they're walking. They got so confused. If you're not confused, then you will know that, okay, I'm walking. Just walk. Just like the group, I got this pain, that pain. I said, never mind. put some plaster and just walk. You'll be all right. And after they complete the walk, they can complete the 25 click, no problem. But instead, they, oh, maybe you should stop. Or maybe you this, I mean, this is how the farmer will creep in. Maybe I take vehicle. Is she here? Oh, yeah. Every time pop up to the vehicle and give excuse because the farmer is like that. Right? You got to just do it. Just do it. Don't think so much. Just do it. The problem we think so much, we doubt. In the end, we're not there to do anything. So get so phrase with all this doubt, fear, scared of this, scared of that.
Sister Pochin asks, if we are to focus on our object of meditations and thought arises, so we just ignore it and go back to the object? Or, but what situation are we to say, I see you, to the thought?
You just do your walking. If the thought arises, if you say that I see you, don't have to do that, just acknowledge. Because it's within. They read too much book. It's true, they read too much. That's the problem. They must stay alone, lock themselves in the room for 7 days. Then you can see the real of the. It's true, you know, sometimes it's good to be alone. Like wise man fairy, throw them in the forest. Well, just come up for the food and silent and talk. Then your meditation sure to improve. Sure, it's very good to be alone. You know how my meditation improved? Because I'm alone. No one to talk to, only trees. For months, I don't know who to talk to. You know, I need to talk to myself. And if I think, not bad, you're talking to yourself. Right? But you must have the Dharma as a guideline. If not, the greed will be your guideline worse. Everything also can. No. Precept must be my guideline. They see that, oh, this is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. So before we can progress, we need to go through this kind of training.
This brother Kenny Lee from Malaysia. So, dear Ajahn, when I meditate, I have a strong sensation on my forehead area. I focus on the moving sensation by reciting Buddha Buddha continuously, and I feel calm. Is that a correct method? Please advise.
If you feel calm, that means you can feel calm, right? It's correct. It's correct. Anything you do, right? Whatever method, whatever chant you do or what, because you must understand that all the method is to calm your mind. People can do chanting, can do walking, can do a call mantra, mudra, or what. The intentions of the training is to calm the mind. So we are not here to say that is it right or wrong. You see, in concentration practice, right? The Mahayana is a talk. Is it right? It's right. Because they can calm the mind. But at certain how deep the calmness it is as all. Right? Chanting, yes. Breathe. The best is anapanasati. Keeping the breath in mind. That one really calm. You can calm for hours, for days. The mind just very steady. Right? You can, and because of the power of the calmness, a lot of thought doesn't arise. You feel so peaceful, you don't have to think. You just like just in the silent mode. And you're scared that this silent mode will disappear. You don't want to do anything, become so lazy. Everything sort of, yeah. And this is attachment to calmness. I was attached to this kind of calmness for many months until I get tight slap to make me angry. I go crazy. Then I know, oh, okay, you got to balance. Because a lot of people mistaken that calmness means when you meditate, you cannot think, you must calm all the time. But here we're human beings. We got to engage with the world, we got to do the jobs, we got to think, right? And when we start to think, we feel very agitated and we don't want thinking, we want only calmness. This is a lot of problem that meditators happening. They have this kind of attitude that they shouldn't be thinking. Then how are you going to deliver your job? You don't think, right? You got to think, but you must know when to think and when not to think. The trick is here. A lot of people, they think and then no boundary thinking go on. You know, but after you think, right? For example, you have done a job, pop straight away back to your mindfulness of your object. For me, I use a lot. And no problem. No problem.
Question?
Hmm?
Any questions?
Any question from the audience here?
So, Ajahn, the chanting, it's a type of meditation as well? Or
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah. Interpretation of mantra. Like putto. You say, is it the similar like any kind of mantra chanting, like the body, Om Mani Padme Om? Yeah, it comes to mind. You know, yeah, just for sharing, you know. My cousin was a Christian. My cousin, she's a Christian. And then when she was suffering this mental depressions, when she had to see ghosts here, the ghosts there. So I tried to tell her about Buddha. Oh, no, I'm Christian. Okay. Can you see Jesus Christ? Yes, breathe in Jesus, out Christ. And she calmed herself down. Yeah. She falls asleep in front of me. Okay. Yeah. It's a method. The application of the method. But I don't know that time I'm quite because we are Buddhist based, right? We talk about somebody saying, no, I'm Christian. Oh, the ghost is coming. Can you see Jesus Christ coming? Yeah. Breathe in Jesus, out cry. And then she fell asleep. Yeah. And my dad, what you do? I said, I don't know. So it's the method, application of the methods, the teams. If the person has the faith in their faith, you should use their faith when they calm the mind very fast. Instead of asking them to change this and change. No. That's why we are more liberal. I'm a Singaporean monk, that's why I'm more liberal. I modify a lot of things. I mean, it suits, it's applicable, you know. For example, Christian, they meditate, because people are like that, we talk about certain things, they're very defensive. Oh, no, this is my belief. Okay. Say, no. We are just sharing a method of how to improve your mental health. Okay. I'm not changing religions. If you can think properly, good for you and good for me. Because if you find a peace within yourself, you'll be peaceful to everybody. The problem, we cannot find a real peace, only agitation and irritation. A lot of anger. You'll never find happiness. Because every time you see something, you become very defensive. Right? You become very defensive. So we are not going to change people, just sharing with them. And if they can apply, it's good for them. Right? We are helping another human mankind, right? Another human beings to be happy, that's all. Right? Because after all, they are not happy at the start. From start, they're not happy, that's why we are born. Right?
But then when you chant, it's like when you chant,
yep.
So that's like you bring your attention, your concentration to your chant.
Yep.
But when if you want to observe your mind, you can't have like
no, you do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Right? You do one thing at a time. Your mind, whatever thought that arise, even before meditation, you're already observing it, right? Anybody, whether you come across meditation, already you know that your mind is very distracted and no discipline at all. And you suffer a lot and you got angry and you got worse because why? It's clouded by all this greed. hatred-related thoughts. But because of the introduction of this kind of teaching, you start to get yourself straightened up with, I use the word discipline. Get yourself disciplined with this kind of training, and you start to see things more clearly, right? And until at a stage you can really address, oh, there's a thought arising in me. Because when your mindfulness, you're more mindful. We do it gradually. Let this thing progress gradually. We don't set a target that, oh, by 7 days, I must sleep. And people get screwed up with the training because they set target. Like my friend, he was a monk before, we were practicing very hard. And he told me, oh, by 7 years, we have no attainment, I'll disrobe. I said, don't make the statement. You want to disrobe, just disrobe. Don't tell me 7 years. He said, after 7 years, he said, oh, I can't make it. I said, how to make it? Whole day talking. So Kepo talk to this person, talk to them, hello there, hello there. How to, you must go inside here. That's the problem with human mankind. They want the result, but they don't do the cause. They want rice, but don't do plant rice. Then the jungle talk to people, and then the grass all grow. Then they're hungry for rice. Where got rice? The same thing with meditation. You got to really do it. You got to sacrifice your time, and it's not easy. You got to go through a grandfather pain, grandson pain, great-great-grandfather pain. Yeah, you got to go through a kind of, wow. It's not easy. That I don't know. A lot of people say, oh, it's so easy, so easy. Oh. Okay. Good luck to you.
All right. Okay. Well, I have certainly enjoyed the talk, and I did laugh quite a lot. Just like to thank Chao Keng for sharing the tips on meditation and how to improve our practice and how to become actually a better human being. I hope you all will benefit from the talk. Let's pay respect to Chao Keng before we.
I think I'll do transfer Mary first.
Oh. Okay.
Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva meva ito tina bhetana upakapati ichitam paditantum hankipameva samichato sabhe purento sankapa chandho pannaraso yatha maricho diraso yatha Saphitiyo vivajantu saparogo vinasato mate pavavantrayo sukhi dikayuko pava abhivadana sili sanicca vuddha pacayino Chataro dhamma vadanti ayuvanno sukhang bala.
Let's pay respect to Ajahn before we disperse. Let's bow. Thank you everyone for coming, and drive. If you are driving, be careful driving home. If you're catching public transport, just take it easy as well, and remember to wear your mask.
Has the COVID restriction?
Still in place for public transport.
Oh yeah.
Yes, until Monday.
Oh.
Ajahn, everyone from the Zoom to say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.